Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the NoSkill podcast. You like the new digs? What do you guys think? Huh? We'll give you guys a little bit of a tour later on, maybe in a different episode, but right now we have a podcast to do, and welcome, what's bonking internet land. I am your host, DJ. To my left, your right, is Brendan.
What's good? How's it going?
And then on the other side of me, the man, the myth, and the legend of the hour. Welcome back. It is Arbiter King.
Yes, hello.
Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you. Trust me, we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about, my friend. And then last but certainly not least, Mikey. Say hi to everybody.
Still Goblin, still green, still here, still barely punching in on time to be here, but I made it.
This man clocks in probably early at his actual job, but over here he's just like, you know what? I can be like half an hour late. It's fine, whatever.
No, I do that at both jobs.
Trust me, it was hard to get this thing rolling because as of this recording, I am also starting to use my cameras to record things. I'm just a dunce and I don't know how to do it well, but I'm learning. But that is neither here nor there. Today, the guest, Arbiter King, he is here. He is back with us once again. It is such an honor to have you back, man. It was a pleasure having you the first time. Still a pleasure now.
Yes,
How are things?
Sequel. It is doing quite well. Probably made more progress on Worlds than Avatars since last time, but still kicking it quite well. Working on tutorials as well for other people, so more media.
Because like we spoke briefly in Discord, you are quite the man with an extensive repertoire of things that you do, from your own content creation, running your own Discord, giving like YouTube tutorials on how to create avatars, and then avatar maker and world maker. How do you balance it? The same question Mikey asked earlier. How do you sleep? How much do you sleep? Is it adequate?
Yeah, I'd say it's quite adequate. At least when it comes to like getting things like 6 hours of sleep and stuff like that, I always balance it out with probably like a nap or something, a lot of caffeine. But yeah, when it comes to a lot of editing and whatnot, I always just love creating things. So I'm always endlessly entertained, and I'm always jumping from projects to projects. I can't really do one thing for too long when it comes to like working on a world constantly for multiple days straight. Gotta work on some avatars occasionally and whatnot, which is exactly what I'm doing right now with the SCP avatar. I figured been working on a world long enough, so I wanted to do all the cool, never before seen stuff for at least Quest or something, where you have all this experimental things, and I mean it's always learning and stuff that just kind of entertains me endlessly. So.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. Because like, oh, by the way, first off, I just want to say congratulations on hitting 1,000 members in your Discord, man. That is insane.
Yeah, that is huge numbers right there.
And your community is so cool, man.
Yeah, it's always very relaxed environment, unlike many other military communities for VR chat and whatnot. Touched up a little bit on that last podcast, but it's just respecting one another for the members, and number one rule is like never force your beliefs on other people, and I mean that seems to work out. You get 1,000 people and you barely ever have any controversies ever, so very laid back and very welcoming.
Like, bro,
pleasure to run the community.
Like, bro, we have like 23 people in our Discord and half of them aren't there at a moment's notice. Cool. But like, so how do you balance like moderating chats when people are wanting to be, like a little bit toxic or kind of, run their mouth, or they're having just a little too much leeway, a little too much fun with the gift of the gab? Like, how do you like stay up to moderate? Is there days where you're just kind of scrolling through chat, seeing who's saying what?
We have a whole bunch of like higher ranked people in the server, and they'll definitely let us know if something bad's happening. We have a good bit of them that have permissions to remove stuff. So if someone does decide to go hang wire and start posting like crazy stuff, there's a lot of people who can delete them. We have a couple people who have been in the server for like 3 years and stuff, so they're always watching it as well. But yeah, when it comes to like moderating the place, like we go off of like a strike system. So 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike. But we also just kind of personally address people. So if people are posting stuff that's a little on the edge, a little suspect for how appropriate it is, then we'll DM them and say like, hey man, I'd recommend toning that back, or else we might have to do something about it and whatnot.
Recommend not saying the thing that you said before we have to do the thing that we don't want to do.
Yep.
Understandable. Yeah, because we have, like I said, we only have 23 people in ours, and again, half of them aren't on at a moment's notice, and the other half are playing like League of Legends or some shit. Nothing against nothing against League of Legends or anything at all. But now, before we continue, let us address the elephant in the room. That right there. That. Do you guys see that shit? You like it? It's cool. Guess who made it? This man.
This guy.
I will admit to you, dude. I told you this, and now I want the folks at home to know. We had another guy that was supposed to be designing a map for us, and he was jerking us around for, at this point, months. What did you say, Brandon? Months.
Yeah. Still waiting.
In the time span of 48 hours, we managed to make more progress with getting a world done with this man. Because in 2 days, it went from an idea to look where we are.
And
it's cool.
And it's not even done yet, but it's already playable. Yep. We're sitting here in front of a campfire with our logo in the back, talking to this man right here that created it all.
Yeah, it's a wee bit of a sketch, but I think it's quite excellent, probably.
But for 2 days' time, this is fantastic.
It's freaking
been
great.
Definitely learning a whole bunch when it comes to world design and stuff like that, especially with my new map I'm working on here.
Yeah, like Brandon said, it's not done yet. We still got some things we want to do. There's an entire upstairs area that we're going to be using for other things, and we can't wait to share with you guys more details about it. But for now, what do you guys think? The blue lights, we're sitting here around the campfire. I feel like roasting some mallows right now. But yeah, let us know down below what you think. But of this creation of this world, now my question to you, sir, is what got you into world creation? Like, what made you go, I can do that? Were you a Halo Reach Forge kid? Is that like how you started?
A little bit. I could not. I was banging sticks together in Forge. I was not great in Forge at all.
Same.
Same.
That's horrible, man. I doubt I could build a house in Forge, man. Given like a week. But like definitely when it comes to constructing stuff, probably growing up on like Xbox 360, just going crazy with like redstone and stuff like that in Minecraft and trying to make things look fancy. That's probably where like most of my map designs started, I believe. And then I started doing a little bit of game design in high school. So then you start working with level design and whatnot. So you try to make things that flow nicely for open space and closed environment and balancing the two.
Understandable.
I wish my school had classes like that. Damn.
It was awesome.
It was just a month straight of like, it's in an area where you go to high school and get in trouble for not playing games in school, and that's a fantastic feeling.
Were you at like a tech or a magnet school?
I was using a website called Construct 3. And yeah, it's a really nice, really nice engine for design, because A, a high schooler with no money can use it, and B, it's also free. It's got a free version at least.
Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome, because I could call my buddies over to my desk and have them play the game, and that was considered productive. So, because they're playtesting.
So you essentially were like Michael Reeves, just like banging sticks together until something happened, and then when it did happen, you banged more sticks until they got bigger.
Bang sticks together and boom, created a universe.
Yeah.
Because I went to one of your hangout campfire spots, dude, and then as soon as you told me, "Hey, watch out for the Wendigo behind one of the crates," I was immediately like, "I must find this thing." As soon as I found him, I'm like, "Dude, some just little things like that. That gives a world personality."
Oh yeah, I started doing intros and whatnot for each of my maps ever since I just what's called found out how to do like animations and whatnot for objects in the world. So whenever you go to my abandoned city map called Dybbuk City, you'll load in and you have the helicopter spinning its blades. You hear it, and you have "Welcome to Dybbuk City" in like a nice little electronic voice. It'll fly off and gives so much more personality when you get into the intro. Fun fact, named Dybbuk City after, like, was it, I think in, I was gonna say mythology, but like Jewish religion, Dybbuks are like wandering souls, so it's the city of wandering souls.
Oh, okay.
For like the nice little abandoned map. But yeah, and then you get like APCs that will drop you off at the campfire, and you get the nice little AI spouting over the intercoms in the safe house and stuff like that. It gives a lot more intro for or a lot more personality to the map just with an intro and stuff like that.
Okay. Because like again, the first time we had you on, I was already amazed. This all happened like off camera, but at one point we were in a world taking pictures for the thumbnail. And something as simple as one of this man's abilities and things is to plot a table and start editing shit on it. And I'm like,
there's going to be a sequel. I am very thrilled to work with it more, mostly because I guess the Last of Us movie came out and whatnot, so kind of made me want to dive back into all the cool modification animations and all that. This time I'll do it with like an AR of sorts, but I think taking apart guns in VR and being able to show off your cool creations is just amazing. So,
and for those that remember, the last time we had Arbiter King on, he also is doing his best to make everything Quest compatible for us underlings that didn't have or don't have access to a PC to link it to, or don't have a Valve Index because they keep being sold out. Damn it. Anyway,
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, what is it? A staggering number. 60% of like the PC of the VR player base is simple Quest. That's it. That is a huge part of the market that I'm not going to nitpick big like people who develop for PC only. They're just missing all of those players, all those people you could be getting into the community and culture.
Yeah,
it's crazy because my newest Avi is like 97 megabytes right now. I still plan on adding more stuff to it, but it's a tenth of that on Quest. I want to see if I can maybe squeeze by adding like C4 and grenade launchers to it with like 0.2 megabytes. We'll see.
It's just like I got 3 megs left. Let me see if I can squeeze a glizzy in here. Maybe an RPG.
It's only an M32 rotary grenade launcher. It'll fit, I swear.
Gotta love
just
your
for warning
thumbs.
shots, you know.
It's only an automated sentry turret with thermal seeking. Okay, relax. Jesus.
What I would do to add a turret to something. I'll have to go digging for programming for that. I don't think I'm qualified for that, but I could.
Next episode, we don't have a chair right here. Arbiter's just sitting on a mounted turret.
Next time we have him on, it's just gonna be like a drone holding an iPad of him saying, "I can't disclose my location right now, but just know the sentry is coming." But they're after me. So then, oh, Brendan,
I wasn't gonna say anything. Go ahead.
Because I was just gonna simply ask. We discussed this, and again, if you want to like know a little bit more about this man's lore, I'll go watch the first episode that we had him on, because again, we talked a lot about it. But just to like retouch up on it and add a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more detail. So your passion for guns and anything that goes bang, pew, pow, boom, whether it comes in a 9mm shell or a 40 mic. what made you want to bring that over to VR? Like, of all places, why VR?
Because I mean, VR chat has the most easily accessible way of porting your content, your models, rigs, and all that kind of stuff into a game so absurdly easily. And I mean, for someone who loves creating things, if it's something I can look at in virtual space, I think that's probably like the best it gets. I mean, VR is always going to keep improving and whatnot, and maybe in the future, VR chat will let us have more options for things we can put on, like have more space, give me plus 5 megabytes for like Quest compatibility, and I'll probably be able to get a deployable vehicle or something on everything. But you know, yeah, no, I think VR chat's the best medium for that, and we touched up a little bit on like going to other things like chill out VR and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not Quest compatible. And Quest, I think you said 60%. I think it makes up like 70, maybe even 80% of VR chat. I'm not sure. But it's such a massive medium to get that stuff out there, as well as people who are, they just put on their VR headset for the first time. They're experiencing the Quest 2. They don't have a PC, but they just got their headset for the first time. And if, they're someone who bought Onward and tactical military stuff, and they head over to VR chat for the first time, and they see my avatars and get to have fun with like going through horror maps with laser pointers and night vision and C4 and all sorts of fun stuff. I think that's
And that green glow stick you flashbanged us with.
Yeah, throwing glow sticks. That
Yeah,
Avi
if
has
only-
all the bells and whistles.
And the best thing would have been, sadly, it's not a thing. Going to like, I don't know, some horror map like you said, or some of these zombie wave maps that have been popping up recently, and just being able to interact with the zombies or monsters or what have you with those avatars. But sadly, that's not a thing. I wish it was though.
Actually, kind of is. It
Okay,
actually
well,
is a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's the Abandoned Asylum map that has VRC of the Dead. I don't think it's the survival version. That one definitely works with all my avatars. They have dynamic collision, so you
Oh.
can
I have that
bring like
world
a
saved,
shotgun.
too.
Yeah. Sorry?
I have that world saved too. I'm gonna try that.
Yes. You can storm in with like shotguns. I have an avatar that has akimbo double barrel M1911s,
Oh
which is
god,
like a
Okay.
lot of bullet per
you're gonna give me
trigger pull.
PTSD.
Well, I think there's no better situation for that than the situation that inspired me. So like I played the hell out of Killing Floor 2, and they have the gunslinger class that lets
Yes.
you akimbo the double barrel 1911s, and then being able to do that in VR with VRC of the Dead with my akimbo 1911s on that Avi, that is pretty awesome. I see. What is it? Yeah, I think all my Avis work for that world, and pretty nice.
Hell yeah,
Oh yeah.
dude!
We'll
Hearing all
definitely
this,
wanna try that sometime.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, since I always got like a bunch of badass fellows with me everywhere I go for VR chat. Our fantastic community that always storms the worlds I'm in.
Right.
It's always a great time. So we had like 13 people or something in that world the first time I was trying it out, because we were just letting people like slowly pull in. We didn't even need to send out like an announcement. We just had people like storming into the lobby. And it says only open the door when everyone's here. And we look through the room and there's like 16 of us. We're like, okay, ready. We open the door and you just have like kill squads storming the hall, just clearing all the floors and every doorway with like shotguns and assault rifles. It is the best experience, especially with like boss fights.
You'd be amazed how actually like military tactical a lot of people get, even though it's not VR chat related. I still remember when I was in clan in Halo Reach. Now, not to toot my own horn, but especially around the time when Halo Reach was out and I was in the military, there was really nothing much for me to do because I was a minor in the military. I can't go out and get wasted. But Halo Reach came out, and that said, well, here goes the next 2 years of my life until I'm a legal adult. So I played the shit out of that. I joined the clan, and then these guys are like, when we go into play, you're going to run the energy sword, you're going to run the shotgun, you're going to be invisibility, and then here's what's going to happen. The invisible guy's going to hit his perk, and then he's going to edge his way into the room. And then the shotgun guy comes in and clears anybody that's within close distance. And then the DMR guy comes in and clears any distance enemies.
Oh my god!
I'm like, I'm in the military, and you're taking this too seriously, bro. Relax. But now hearing you say that with some of your people, which again, your community is fucking sick. Say that they're playing this tactically in VR. I can only imagine, even if like a zombie survival map, and you said that they are tactically clearing out rooms. Like, I want to see this.
I would love to be there for one of those and just get an action shot of you guys storming through a door or something. Just have a camera just pointed at it.
I'd say the best shot you could get is whenever we do our beast hunt events, which is essentially we have like this kind of like civilian scientist avatar that I made that has the PvP system built into him. He has the normal system, which makes him pretty beefy. He has like 20 hit points or something. He's supposed to be like a VIP that you're not supposed to kill, but if he takes enough shots, he could die. And then he has one-shot PvP, which if you toggle both, then you will enable like the beast hunt mode of it, where anyone with a Wendigo or creature avatar can run after like a dozen of these guys that are running through mansions. They're going through floors, hopping off the roofs, trying to get away from like 4 Wendigos that are running through the map. And whenever they slash people, it's always like dropping blood from like their claws and stuff. And it's the amount of like yelling and screams in those events is fantastic. It definitely kicks off the horror atmosphere in 0 to 100.
Oh, that is amazing.
Oh, man.
Mikey?
Sorry, I was just picturing like 8 people in full body tracking just eating shit hard out of sheer panic.
All of them have big vests on, and then while they're being eaten, they feel it. You just hear like blood curdling screams from down the hall. Oh my god!
The best is when we do like a maze or something, like the Backrooms map I made, and well, you don't know where the monster is. You don't know how far they are. You can't see them. You can't hear them. Occasionally, you can hear like some yelling or like some noise they're making just to scare the hell out of people. But it goes from eerie silence where you're expecting him, and then it starts toning down the tone because you're not seeing him, and it's all calm, and all of a sudden he runs around the corner with 2 of your teammates running for their lives in front of him. And that's where it spikes the most, I'd say.
Sector's not clear. Not clear.
I repeat, not clear.
One of the best instances of that was when we used my rainy night raid map, where it's like meant to test night vision from how dark it is. And I remember seeing someone run like the camo option for that civilian, where it's just some mild like Canadian camouflage and like some other stuff like that. And they were just lying in a puddle prone, trying not to get seen by like the weeping angels that were like moving through the maps and whatnot.
Oh my god.
It was so good.
It was kind of like
worst is when
he just pulled like a Ghost Recon Breakpoint. He just laid down. He just dug himself into the floor.
It was working for so long until you actually see a weeping angel, because there's a problem with that. If you see the angel will go from hunting you to standing still, and what pops in the angel's mind? Someone's looking at me. Someone's in range. Someone has sightline of me. So as soon as you look away, the angel instantly starts looking for the nearby person that just saw them. And that's, again, just so great.
See, the dynamics of like video that developers have put into video games, even in VR games, where the hunter-killer AI is adaptable. Like, it reminds me, even though it's not VR related, the game Alien Isolation, where the xenomorph was actively hunting you. Like, he wasn't just even though there was points when you would get to a certain point in the story, he would randomly generate to where he needed to be. But other than that, the AI itself was actively walking around the ship trying to find you. and sorry if you heard that. I hit my microphone. I apologize. But then also it had the ability to listen. Like if you sneezed, if you coughed, if you had that setting turned on, it gave him a sound cue. Another game was a PC game called Ayuwoki. You're being hunted by zombie Michael Jackson.
Actually, was just looking into Alien Isolation very recently here. I do plan on adding some more scanner options and whatnot for some avatars, which I think would make for fantastic experiences with getting chased by goatmen in the woods and wendigos and stuff like that. I plan on adding something about like having a drone that can go above you and then spin around with a heartbeat sensor and give you a bit of like the Halo heads-up display thing where you have something behind and to the left of you, you have something to the right of you, that kind of stuff. So a little bit of a what is it? Heat detector or something in Halo, but yeah.
That's dope though.
Oh yeah. And I think that'd be excellent if you have horrible visibility, but there's things all around you kind of thing. You just see something light up on your little detector.
The creativity, like the creative mind that this man possesses, I envy, because I will never be able to have an extensive thought like that. The most that I'm getting is, if I had access to this, like the resources that he has, the most that I'd want to do, and maybe you might do it because it'd be funny. One of your abilities is to summon a M1 Abrams that has floppy beagle dog ears on the barrel and call your emotional support tank.
I think you have ADHD. I don't. I'm not gonna break it to you.
Okay, well, before we continue, because I want an emotional support M1 Abrams, but we'll start down here, Mr. Green. You, out of, I hate to say it, out of us, because his is commissioned. I just like finding girl avatars. Yours is the only technical self-created avatar. If you could add something onto him to make your goblin even better, what would you want to add on? Like an aesthetic, some different types of clothes, an emote, an ability. What would you want him to do?
Probably hit my real life look of a denim jacket or my denim vest over my hoodie, and then my try to swing my feet. We looked down, realized that wasn't gonna work, and then my Doc Martens.
You don't
other
have
than
to
that,
go for yet.
I was thinking like
it's gonna be
objects-wise,
embarrassing. What's up, Arbiter?
you get like a fizzbone fly swatter that you can whap people with.
Oh. Nah, if it's gonna be me, it's gotta be like a wrench. So I feel in my natural environment.
A monkey wrench, then he just throws it so then he can throw
Yeah,
people.
I was gonna say something that you can like huck at people.
Yeet! Feel like I'm at work.
Hey, dude, can you turn off that trash?
Oh, dude, I didn't. Side note, I did that on Friday and I got yelled at. I got mad at something, so I threw like this metal gasket, and it was so sharp it stuck into the wall. And they're like, "You're gonna take somebody's eye out! Stop!" Sorry.
You have anger problems. You threw an inanimate object at an inanimate object.
Well, it was scary because it stuck into the wall. It was just twing, and it just did not fall. Holy shit!
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just the drip.
One hell of an artist
Honestly,
with throwing knives.
No,
I'm not mad.
Would it just be a denim jacket, or would it be your battle, like one of your battle vests from like concerts and shit?
If I can get my IRL battle vest, that'd be sick. But that's also kind of doxing because the big back patch is one of one. There's not another one on it like it on this planet. So like,
do what he does and turn off avatar cloning.
You'd still see it.
Yeah, and it's still one of one, but like now nobody can take it. Oops. Shit, my mind.
nobody
One
can
of
take
one.
it.
That means if anyone sees it like at a concert out in the wild and they somehow recognize it, don't know who he is.
Well, I'm the height of a goblin IRL, so there is a small problem there. They'd be like, I know that fucking goblin. I've seen him before.
I know that patch.
You gotta give yourself a little bit credit. Like goblins aren't nearly as tall as you. You got like a like.
Fine,
like
I'm the
1 or
height
2
of a
inches.
hobgoblin then. Yeah.
Well,
Every time I
that's
hear
the
hobgoblin, I
benefit,
think
right?
the sniper.
Someone recognizes you, you just like duck and then like crawl into a cave or something. You're like, nah, I'm not having this today.
I do what I do. I do what I do when customers recognize me. They're like, "Hey, I know you," and I no say, no English, and I just disappear into the crowd.
You know, hablas inglés, sorry.
I've done that once before
Sorry,
where
friend.
somebody thought they recognized me in the little bit of French class that I remember. I'm just like, je ne sais pas.
That's good. That's a good coverage. Be like, was he speaking French? And the time it takes, you're gone.
And in
No
the
question.
instance, like, oh my gosh, so are you DJ? Je ne sais pas l'anglais. Oh my god! It immediately turns into basic white girl. Like the Valley girl comes out. Did you just like speak French? Can you like say something else? Dummy, I said I don't speak English. Why are you asking me in English to say something?
It's back in plain English.
But no, so going back, this man's already filled with ideas. Can you give us the spoiler? What's like one of the next big things that you're going to do to this avatar, another avatar? Maybe what is the next avatar that you're going to create? What are you going to do? What are you doing?
We have some anniversary stuff that I still do need to work on. I'm bouncing from like 5 different projects. So I do need to remaster like the original Musketeer Avi that was Quest compatible. It was just this Spetsnaz Russian with a bunch of hazard stuff, minus the fun little sci-fi edition of the Halo shotgun and a katana, which I will, when I remaster, I'm going to make like the Halo shotgun fully reloadable, be able to grab the katana from your shoulder with like either arm.
Oh my god!
And whatnot. Oh.
Dude, I just watched Boys in the Hood too. You can't do that to me.
But yeah, remastering that kind of stuff, and then we have some stuff underway for like doing more score streak-esque stuff. So as I said, there's going to be that cool recon drone that can like scan and pulse your surroundings and whatnot. And then do cool score streaks like F-18 Raptors and A-10 Warthogs being able to burt the ground in front of you. I have a little laser pointer here that you'll be able to call in stuff, but or call in supply drops and care packages, that kind of thing.
Sorry, it's one of the commentators from Modern Warfare 2. This Modern Warfare 2.
Yes. Yeah, and then our new headquarters that I'm working on is probably the biggest project here.
He gave us some spoilers. It's awesome.
Yes, of course. It's currently in, I'd say like it's 50-60% complete, maybe 50%. And the last safe house took place in Alaska. It's this nice snowy setting, and the new one will be a little bit similar to it. Except on the opposite side of the world, Norway, home of the Vikings. So it's a very Viking-themed safe house. So essentially everything a guy would love. So Vikings and guns.
Yep. It was really sick too. Give me like a Viking mead hall type vibes.
I'm working on the mess hall right now that has all the like drinking horns, and I'm adding like a bunch of food and stuff in there at the moment. Yeah, and you'll have Viking axes and shields that are decorating the halls, while also still having that private military company bunker kind of vibe too. A lot of it, a good bit of it also is above ground. I have like checkpoints and construction and facilities and factories that are just outside the walls. And then you'll be able to also click a little toggle and pop out in the wilderness. Maybe I'll make it something similar to this little setting when it comes to going outside the walls. But yeah, that one's
that's
quite
absolutely
exciting.
sick. That's absolutely sick.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see it. I've already like gone to a couple of this man's worlds, and every single time I'm like a kid going into Toys R Us for the first time. I'm just like, oh, dude. The fact that in one of his worlds, for those that have been to this man's worlds, especially you're one of the Musketeers. When I went to one of his campsites, there was so many chairs, but he put a lazy boy on top of a BTR, and then he put a chair on top of the couch. And I said, I'm going to sit on that. I will make it my goal to sit on that.
Get a nice couch stacked on logs. Fun thing about the Wendigo though, it is astounding how many people are getting their friggin' socks scared off by just standing out near the campfire that's further out in the wilderness from the spawn point. There's that little optimized campfire, which is ideally where the most activity for the goat man is. So a lot of people will just be standing there, like as everything starts quieting down, they'll be standing on their own out in the wilderness, and he'll just duck by and like run through the forest every couple minutes. And then I've added a couple uncanny noises in the Canadian wilderness sound effects that will pop up every couple dozen minutes or so.
Yeesh.
I could see why that would spook somebody. I would not be
Yeah,
happy
well-
if I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting like partial complaints and compliments of like, dude, I'm getting scared.
Dude, that was amazing. I had a heart attack and I'm in the hospital, but that was awesome.
Dude, as it is,
Well, it's
when
like
it
you
comes to
go out-
stuff like that, I just want to like stay the hell away from it out of just instinct.
Well, it's like when you're out enjoying a beautiful scenic view, you're out in the forest, it's like sunny and there's birds, but then it gets dead quiet and you hear whistling and you remember you're like 500 miles from the nearest town. And you're like, what? Is it getting hot out here? Is it me?
Does anybody smell ozone?
Remember to always whistle in the woods, especially if you're by yourself and it's nighttime.
Remember, as soon as you see anything bad.
I'm too close to a reservation for that joke. Don't scare me. It's in the hills that way.
Dude, from the amount of like cryptid stuff I know, I would not like even trust looking at a reservation.
Fuck that.
Oh man,
I'll stay away.
There's
They
some
can,
old-
they can have their skinwalkers. I'm gonna be over here.
right?
Where I live, everybody is one of those like ghost hunter, paranormal seeker, big Sasquatch, Bigfoot trackers, and my friends fit the bill. They're constant like these guys are afraid of nothing that could absolutely shred them, tear them apart, eat their soul before their very eyes. But spider in the house,
Oh my god.
fuck that.
That's a big no-no.
I'm not afraid of spiders because I have a size 16 that says I'm better than you. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going home.
You just point with your ear.
Yeah.
It says, I'm better than you. The ear followed the motion. Authoritative knife hand and ear.
Just to really get my point across. But no, that's
Oh,
why,
that's
like,
good.
when I spawned into your world and I saw the Wendigo, I'm not gonna lie, I spawned in at least 3 times because I was trying to walk fast enough to see if I can, like, either grab him, catch him, give him a hug before he sunk into the ground. And I got to see him go, but damn it, he's too fast.
Yeah, he tucks out of the way very quickly. You have to kind of look for him because the main thing was when I added animations to the map, the whole spiel was you have this cool intro of like an APC dropping you off dense in the woods. You have the rumbling of the APC, and just before it takes off, it gives you a little enjoy the campfire, happy hunting. And they say that they're heading out, and the APC will start moving, and it's a very cool animation, but it's to distract you from the goat man that's actually sitting by the campfire behind a container. So essentially, whenever you get complacent with the animation and you stop paying attention to it, you're like, oh, okay, this is like my 12th time seeing it. It's cool, but I'm not going to pay attention. So you walk straight through the campfire, and as soon as you get complacent with the intro, there's a new little thing. It's the goat man. He's waving to you, and he ducks out of the way, and he'll be back. And that's the whole spiel of it. Whenever you make something, you want to have a bit of psychology to it, especially when it comes to game design and stuff. So whenever people start getting complacent with the map, that's where you give them a curveball.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it keeps the map interesting, right?
it does.
Exactly.
All right, we kind of, I'm not gonna say we derailed because again we're still talking about all the illustrious things that you do with this piece, but now we gotta well, we're not finish out. We gotta take it over to Brandon real quick. So, as the only person here that actually has a custom made avatar, what, if anything, would you want to add on to, whether it be aesthetically, an item that he can like summon out of nowhere, an emote outside of flipping and landing on your side like a cool guy? What would you want to add to that avatar? Because I already said mine. I want a tank with dog ears.
I'm not gonna say a lot because right now I'm in the process of working on or getting another one done for me, so I'm not gonna spoil too much. I'm definitely gonna be improving on this model and adding and changing some things. But I will say there's one thing I would like to add is a prop of an electric guitar that I can freely move my hands up the neck and, of course, strum and all that, just so it makes it look more like I'm playing it rather than just holding it in one hand and I cannot move this up and down the neck of the guitar at all. You know what I mean?
So you want to be able to do actual chords and chord progression, like a virtual literal guitar.
Yeah, especially since on my free time, whenever I'm not editing or recording, and I just, as of less than recently, I do a lot of recordings for like fan-made music videos, and being able to do something like that for like say guitar solos and stuff, that'd be awesome. I'd be able to fit that instead of just me just standing there, but like, yeah, cool guitar solo or something like that.
See, now the question is, because you piqued my interest as a guy that likes guitars, what guitar are we talking here? Are we going with a simple bullet Strat? We going up with a Les Paul? Steve Vai double neck?
That right now I have not decided yet. I would have to definitely talk to the guy that would be making the avatar to see if they are able to actually do it, because that is, making an actual 3D model a whole prop, and some people that I've run into can't do it. Some can, like our Arbiter here, but not everyone is up to his skill level. This guy is like man over here.
Gotta say, something like a guitar that can double as an axe. A nice little axe blade on that thing.
He's already adding on to it. It's not just the guitar.
Do you want to make it for me? Because I would love it.
I could probably find a model of like of a guitar with an axe head on the.
Because my guy, like that sounds awesome, especially with the vibe.
Noise the hell out of you, just like whip that thing.
Especially with
from
the
like
vibe.
the guitar stance to the up front.
I just love how we went for the double entendre immediately, because for those that for some reason don't know, a guitar is called an axe. Hence why. But
that's awesome, especially since especially with the vibe that I'm going with for the next avatar, that would fit fucking perfectly.
Go from the Johnny Cash to the Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash to fucking Slash.
Johnny Cash. Here's Johnny.
Exactly. I should have made a joke about The Shining. Damn it.
No, your joke absolutely still landed.
But yeah, I don't want to share too much. That's.
You guys know that the actor for the Johnny there, he was so effective with breaking down doors because he used to be a firefighter that they had to go from like a prop door to like an actual wooden door just because he was breaking them down way too easily.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
It's not because Jack Nicholson's completely unhinged.
Yeah,
can't.
That wasn't it.
He wasn't unhinged. He was an unhinged firefighter.
He was in character.
A little too in character, some will say. The dude went through a prop doors, and they're like, you know what? We need an actual door because this guy is just too good.
Thanos snapping him out.
Just turns to dust immediately upon impact.
One strike, he took it, he just chopped it in half, and like, oh well, there goes another prop door.
Granted, words. My favorite movie of Jack Nicholson will always just be him in Anger Management. That was
everybody says that.
Yeah. The
whole combing his hair with an electric comb thing, and I'm like, that shit is real. He looks nuts.
He is.
What
nuts.
is your name, Mr. Head? Please tell me it's not Dick.
Dude.
All right. Before we go on a tangent about movies, that's going to be a podcast for another day, because God knows we can talk about movies, music, bands, concerts, live shows, conventions all damn day, but that's not what we're here for. Now, the next thing I want to push up and touch up on. So we've mentioned your community and how you're pretty tight knit with them. You keep in contact with them. and you host these things called these game nights pretty frequently. So I got a couple of questions in mind. We'll start off with this. How do you schedule game nights, and what types of games do you guys play?
Oh, like game nights in the traditional sense, like we'll do like our laid back events where it's a lot more like we're jumping world to world. Maybe we'll join an affection world or a murder mystery or something. If it's a bit more laid back, sometimes people just opt for, you know what, it would be way more interesting if we just did like a combat event of our own in whatever way we want. And in those cases, we'll do probably something more beast hunt esque. But yeah, that's for the most part, like just game nights wise. You have a bunch of people that have like thermal vision and stuff that are just adding on to the existing game mode of infection by having the ability to see people from far away with perfect clarity and have heartbeat sensors and stuff like that. So it's kind of like you know, the spicy version of whatever game mode we're playing.
Okay. So do you mainly stick with like just survival, like survival slash hunt them down types of games, or do you guys chill out and play like Yahtzee or some shit?
Usually more active game modes because obviously our community, they all very much like military stuff and whatnot, and they want to be able to have a good opportunity to use that kind of thing. So we don't really keep to like Uno and stuff. We usually do things that are running around looking for people, trying not to get your head, you know, chopped off in murder mystery and whatnot. And of course, like game nights are separate from our combat events. Combat events are another thing, but
That was gonna be one of my next questions.
yes.
But with this game night, so the other sub questions that I have on that, it's like, so are you playing those games of like Haunted Asylum or Prison Escape, or is everything something you created? Because I noticed in your Discord, when it's time to queue up, when you're saying pooling will start soon, you always have like this good bit of lore behind
Oh
it.
yes.
And I think that's awesome.
So yeah, that'd be like a part of our main operations. We like to keep people filled in on why we're going to the world that we are with the game mode that we are and whatnot. When we do things that are just like more, I wouldn't say casual. Oh, maybe casual works. Like just our non like operations, our side operation stuff. That stuff we don't really go too far for lore wise. It's just, hey, join up for our combat event. This is the game mode for today. But when we do our lore and stuff, it's like you know, these people are low on resources. They've been pushed to the wall, and due to the circumstances, truce has been issued for so and so stuff, and we're going to hold our ground here with these big enemies on the way. Our last mission of the operation was essentially, you knew this brimstone faction of very advanced weaponry is hunting and gunning for the two PMCs that are against each other, being Musketeers and Kodiak. Kodiak being like this European government underbelly of criminality and that kind of stuff. Musketeers being like a lot more flexible, take any job with generally just kind of a little more standard while also having some sci-fi in there. So you know that this Brimstone faction's gunning for you. You hold your ground in a destroyed city of Dybbuk City, and you have mechs coming after you, and it's just something like that, right? Yeah, we always have the combat events, or we always have events on Fridays and Saturdays and whatnot, always at the same time. So it makes scheduling for events very simple. So it's always the same time.
Yeah. Then I don't know if you got this. I just realized that at one point my recording had decided to pause itself. Yay, love that. Are all the maps made and designed by you and your peeps, or do you actually use community maps or just like VR chat generated maps?
So with all of our programming and stuff being built into the avatars, that gives us the flexibility to use any map we like. When we do use maps that I create, it means that when I make them, I can prep them for events by having like little teleporters for spawn points and stuff, so you can get over to your team's point way quicker, and that makes it way better for running events. But we certainly don't keep strictly to only my maps because we always like to try to keep some flexibility and variety when it comes to each side operation or operation. You give the different landscape while also keeping a good balance for, we don't want, just because this map looks cool, it's an open field and there's no cover kind of thing, right? We want to still have something that flows good for gameplay.
Okay. All right. So,
I was also going to point out, I think we're just going to cut you off right there and just throw it over to Past DJ for a sponsorship with Dubby.
I'm not here. Whew. Well, that was fun. Oh. Hey, gamer. Still can't clutch up in Warzone? Still no victory royales? Still maidenless? It's time to change how you play, son. Drink Dubby, the delicious gaming energy supplement that'll help you achieve that epic play of the game. Now head on over to dubby.gg and use our code NSE for 10% off your total order. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Hello, welcome back. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that pretty little ad read. Thank you once again, Dubby, for hanging out with us. You are handsome.
Fun fact, if you liked what you saw with those avatars, those were his. So check him out.
I already know which ad he's about to use. That was actually really fun to film too. That was really fun to film. But yes,
also,
thank you.
Shout out to Ghost.midi. We used your gun range for that.
Oh my gosh, Ghost, I miss you, buddy. I love you. I hope you're doing well. But yes, so we're back. Thank you, W, for hanging out once again. And we're back at it again. We're still here with Arbiter King, my guy. Now, this is the fun part for me because I as soon as you said the three words, combat and event, I knew I needed to find out. Because when I picture combat event, I'm picturing gridiron, strictly PvP, package slash are you not entertained Thunderdome combat.
Yes.
What are your combat events?
Oh. Our combat events can either go one of two ways. We either rock the PvP system built into the avatars, which gives us the opportunity to be able to see the impacts of combat. You have bullet holes and little spurts of blood and stuff whenever you get hit. And then the other way is rocking a bit more of a airsoft kind of atmosphere. With if you see yourself get hit, you call your hit. One shot is all it takes for you to be considered incapacitated and out of the fight. So you respawn and you stay in spawn until the next round. We always run multiple rounds so that people can adapt their strategies and that kind of stuff. But the combat events are always very exciting. And we don't really punish people for thinking outside the box for stuff and just doing whatever works. So as an example, we won't tolerate people who are just wandering the map and stuff because they're not actually being a part of the event. But we will absolutely, give people the green light to run around with bayonets and ambush people around corners and stuff like that. And it makes for very exciting, like, bunkers and stuff. Yeah.
I'd imagine
That's me.
I'd imagine when you're not running the PvP, like, avatars, it can get a little confusing sometimes, I'd imagine, because some people may not call because they can't feel it like an airsoft.
Yeah.
Unless they have a haptic Mikey.
So we
found out we
have
shot very easily in VR chat.
Yeah, we always have a lot of spectators all around, or not, sorry, like moderators, kind of like you would for airsoft as well.
Yeah.
And their job is to kind of be like the designated person where it's like, if this happened on their screen, then, it's what happened and whatnot. So sometimes there can be a lot of desyncing when it comes to having a whole bunch of people that all have advanced reload systems with like being able to physically pull back bolts and like swap out magazines. So VR chat trying to monitor all the contacts and fizz bones and how much each one stretched and how much each one connected with one another. There can be a lot of desync, which is why you get a whole bunch of people that are like, okay, I was standing from this angle, I saw him ready his gun, even if there's no particles coming out of his gun as he shoots. I didn't see him shoot, but his weapon was readied. He was behind somebody. We'll call it a good kill because it wasn't synced on my screen, but he had the cunning and whatnot to get behind the enemies, to pull off a flank, to ready his weapon, and to outsmart them. So even if there's going to be a bit of a hiccup where we don't see the gun actually fire, we will still give the kill to them. And there's a lot of moderating involved for that kind of stuff. Most of the time it still does work, but main thing is we have a lot of moderators. You just position someone where a huge group of one team is sitting and you get a good view of everyone, and you're seeing the bullets pass by, all the tracers zoom over the cover, someone pops out and you see their head get like shot but they didn't see it, so you run over and say so and so out, and that kind of thing. And you have people constantly getting sent back to spawn. There's respawns, they're coming back, that kind of thing. So it means that we don't need to have PvP programmed into everything, and it still gives us a whole bunch of flexibility to run whatever we like. So
Okay, dope. Yeah, especially when you said you have moderators around to catch, because as you said, there have unless you're wearing a full haptic suit, you're not going to actually feel what just actually happened to you. It actually reminds me of for those that were familiar when pro paintballing was a thing. I mean, it's still a thing, but I don't pay attention to it anymore. People legit, because of the protective padding you have to wear, a lot of people had no clue that they were shot and hit by a paintball, so they had to actually have actual ref moderators out there to say, hey, you got hit. No, I didn't. Look at your fucking arm. Oh, yep. It's orange. Yeah. Bug off.
That's actually kind of how the system works with PvP. Is you obviously still can't feel it, but if we say, hey, so-and-so is out, and they look at their arm and they see it, oh, I've been shot only a couple hundred times. Whoops. And, they'll get sent back, right?
My chest looks like needlepoint.
Yeah. Some of the more complex avatars, because they have so many functions built into them, I don't have the resources to put PvP and everything. So the trade-off is, do you want to go for something more simple that has PvP or something more complex that doesn't? So in one way, you're missing out from the other. And that's why we mainly keep to the airsoft one for the most part, unless it's just like a little warm-up event of sorts. Because one of my favorite memories was a bit more of a recent operation where essentially you have a bunch of the Brimstone faction, this advanced weapons agency, that have essentially the advanced warfare kind of stuff, but without lasers. I try to keep stuff a bit more anchored and modern, but with the cool extra techie stuff. So you get a bunch of them descending from a mountain in order to track down the Musketeer and Kodiak factions that are spread out. Those two factions are considered teammates, but they don't start the operation together. They have to rendezvous and find a way to fight off the approaching Brimstone. And Brimstone doesn't lead off of numbers when it comes to operations. They usually have less people because their weaponry compensates for all their losses. They have like little things on their helmets that they can swipe on the visor, and it'll mark all the players that they look at bright red from any distance, which gives you amazing visibility. They have a little thing called the Ash device, which is like I think it's assistant system something, holographic menu or whatever. You click a button, you can call in a mortar barrage from behind you. You click a button, you can get a bunch of smoke to disperse from your location, and then it'll make everything but your visor invisible, stuff like that. So we had a bunch of those guys descending the mountain, even with all their advanced stuff. One team decided to go the longest route around up to where their spawn point was at the start of the round, and they hailed bullets down into the bunker that they're just about to descend into, and caught them off guard, eliminating everyone but like one person who was a lone wolf for like the 5 minutes it took for him to get hunted down. And it's like, holy.
I've also been
very tense.
I was also kind of curious with these events. I know it would be like a pay barrier because some people won't have the funds or will just won't own these. But do you also, or have you, or considered maybe events on like games like, I don't know, Onward or even Contractors?
A little bit when it comes to things like VR chat going down for its servers wise. We had a couple of instances with that, especially with a little bit after a few updates after EMM, or not EMM, sorry, Easy Anti-Cheat.
Yeah.
I
remember that.
And the servers kept going down and stuff, so we had to do stuff in other places. So mainly we'll go to wherever we think a lot of our community is like voting for and stuff, or what a lot of the higher ups think are a good idea. Sometimes the conversation comes up for things like doing a Pavlov gun game event and stuff, but ideally we'll swap over to stuff like consoles and cross-play games and stuff, like doing like Modern Warfare 2 custom games sometimes with our community.
Oh, that's
really
fun.
really good one was when VR chat went down when one of our events was supposed to be active, and we're like, okay, everyone that has an Xbox One, we're gonna do GTA 5 online in a public match with as many of the Musketeers as we can fit inside. Add this profile, join it. We'll be in a public session, and I mean that was a great time, because when you get a community of people who love military stuff, and they go to a game like GTA, which you can become like the owner of essentially a PMC with your own bunkers and facilities. It's a private military company pretty much. And when we jumped our community over there, you get one guy with an oppressor blowing up like one of us, and it was just utter revenge and like vengeance in the finest degree. As soon as we had like one guy get taken out, we had jets chasing after the oppressor. We had Deluxos and all sorts of stuff. As soon as he got grounded, that's when the fun really began. You had people on dirt bikes with shotguns, one hand popping him as soon as he spawned in. You had snipers in the bushes with like camo and ghillie that were like popping his head whenever he popped up on the radar. You had dune buggies with miniguns and the insurgents, the armored trucks and stuff. And it was just the pinnacle of getting a military community from one game to another, and just utter destruction. And such a close community. I love it. But mainly when it comes to hopping to other games, we'll do whatever's like widely available and easy to use or something like that. I mean, Pavlov's a bit annoying with finding servers, but it is a good option as well. We just haven't used it, or
yeah, because honestly, I would love to just see people go into like a ground war mode on like Contractors or something, and you load up the the fucking like Star Wars map, and everyone's just running around as stormtroopers shooting lasers at each other.
Yeah, it just reminds me, because GTA was already straight. GTA 5 was already chaos incarnate early on in its life, especially when the hackers that had the invincibility cheat going on, and as soon as someone had like turned their cheats off, you had an entire map of people that were pissed off and wanting revenge. Now I'm just picturing that chaos mixed with they're organized.
Yeah,
and they're under this.
It seems that a lot of our community follows very suit as to my beliefs for GTA as well. It seems we're very equal-minded with that. I don't really play GTA to be the guy who's like the tryhard that uses the most OP stuff. A lot of the fellas in the community didn't have like a lot of the time-consuming research you need for certain vehicles and stuff like that. It's just a matter of playing GTA to be the best, most skilled player at PvP. So making do with what you got made for a very entertaining afternoon event,
Understandable though, because I still love GTA. I think GTA is absolutely sick, and the fact that they've managed to keep this game going for what, like 8 years now at this point.
Yeah. We're all waiting for GTA 6.
Yeah.
I might play that one.
They're not going to release it for a hot minute. Like I know the leak that everybody saw was supposed to be GTA 6, and Rockstar confirmed it, but the way it looked, that game still has at least another 2 or 3 years. And then there's Rockstar timing. We now have to focus on keeping Red Dead Redemption alive, since everybody loves Cowboy Yeehaw.
They're giving up on Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
Then
there's not a lot of content on it. Like,
Oh,
if
I
you
am
look
back.
at
Oh.
What a perfect time for us to get off topic.
If you look
Alrighty.
at the content of Red Dead compared to GTA Online, is not even a contest.
It's
like
nothing.
There's nothing.
Well, because you can only do so much with a game that has, outside of different types of guns, no technological advancement whatsoever. But they have the goofy fun factor of I'm a cowboy.
Do
Yeah.
storyline. Do Undead Nightmare Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Please.
Do classic tales from Red Dead Revolver, the game that started the franchise in 2007. There's options. They just didn't do it.
I know. Trust me. I get you. And I feel you. But it's just still amazing to me that some of these content creators that do play Red Dead, their main goal is we're just going to be as goofy as possible.
Because that's all there is to do.
You gotta
Yeah.
work with what you got. And
Yeah.
that's why when that game first came out, like a lot of people were obviously exploding about like this is the greatest campaign ever, and it's like
Mhm.
I haven't seen it, but every clip I see of it, it looks so quality for the campaign.
It's
fantastic.
But my reason for like never buying it was just like it's cool. It's really cool. I like old fashioned weaponry. I have like a whole faction dedicated to old fashioned weaponry for the Musketeers. But there's no anything other than carts and horses. I can go to the other GTA that has jets and it has helicopters and it has tanks and it has
A
all
mobile
these
fucking
guns as well,
fortress.
except with a lot more burr.
It gives you a reason to play Fortunate Son and make a strafe run on some
Yes.
unsuspecting numpty in your server.
Like, and when I get a kill with my jet, it is just pure serotonin.
When I get a kill with the firework launcher, that's pure serotonin for me, because that's America talking to you.
It's America,
Yes,
buddy.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah.
I want
So
to
Sandbox,
hire
but
a
it just-
mugger, take your money,
Yeah.
and then kill you right
It's
after
just-
that just to prove a point.
There's just so many freaking options you can do with GTA. It just like you can't compare when it comes to old games, which is why I was like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 are super cool games. But for myself wise, like you've lost the addition of like Battlefield 4 where it was like just zillions of attachments. You know, you could customize like every side of your rails for the Picatinis, and you had rangefinders, and you had tanks and jets and all this kind of stuff, and you get the planes and stuff, but you just miss out on so much stuff that makes the modern time so fun, like thermal and night vision on your vehicles and all sorts of stuff. You know?
Too bad
Real
they
quick.
fucked up their attempt at a future one.
Real quick, for those that
Yeah.
remember the YouTube series, I just unlocked the bipod for my bipod.
Yeah.
I have some voice lines from that series on my soundboard.
That was amazing. Battlefield 4 was a time,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about that here in a minute, because I have a question. It's still about the game, your guys' game night and your combat events. Do you ever get involved in playing them, or are you kind of just reserved as an admin referee role?
I very rarely get involved in them because I find that whenever it comes to like moderation and stuff like that, a lot of the time I can be like the only person on PC with moderation, so I can have the better syncing, I can have every avatar shown, I can see every bullet particle and that kind of stuff. So I very, very rarely step onto the field. But since we have so many more high-ranking people since like when we started, it means that they can moderate, and occasionally I get involved. When I do, it's a little unfair almost, a bit of a steamroll, but like I think
I kind of
You heard him. That's the
I'm
permission.
a-
Everybody gang up on him.
more than welcome to. But
you can try.
yes, you can
try.
try. Give it your all. It's the only thing that will give you a chance. But
Come on, stop trying
you
to
know,
hit me and hit me.
I love the confidence.
it's always very fun. I think the main thing that is the changing factor is a lot of people don't get super organized for when it comes to tactics and whatnot. They won't adapt to field often, which is one thing I definitely tell them, like, hey, this is probably going to give you the win if you do this kind of stuff. Just little tad bits of extra information. But and when I do get involved, it's just like you get everyone super organized, and then it's a steamroll. I don't know.
So it's like, oh, you guys all gathered up in one group. Meteor strike.
Let me teach you this
Uh,
thing called spacing.
Bats.
Spacing is quite the tactic, one paired with cloaking and all the like smoke that disperses from that avatar. I saw that getting pulled off on one of our operations recently. Get a whole bunch of people to all like cloak in, and the entire field is just covered in fog, like it's London.
Yo, that sounds awesome.
I can't remember the last time London has seen the sun. Sorry, guys. To our London fans, the three of you. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
But also, again, the whole running the Discord, creating avatars, creating tutorials on how to create avatars, world making, including this one. Where do you find time to let Arbiter have fun? Like what is Arbiter gonna do? Like what is Arbiter doing when he doesn't have anything, like any sort of creation going on? He doesn't have to make an avatar by 9. Game night's not tonight. What is Arbiter doing for some rest and relaxation?
I mean, I always go into VR chat, and I enjoy the rewards of the effort I put into the avatars. So I always do stuff like go into horror maps and stuff with the night vision and have fun with that kind of thing, or just kind of showing off the avatars to other people and watching them have a whole bunch of fun as they discover all the techie stuff with them. I think that's always a blast to see people smiling like all hell when they see this stuff for the first time in VR chat. So mainly I just keep the VR chat for my rest and relaxation. That said, every time I hop on, it's like right after I finish doing a whole bunch of editing. So, and I'm troubleshooting stuff and I'm finding a lot of glitches, and then sometimes I just like it's 11 o'clock and I'm just starting to finish all the problems on like avatars, and it's like, man, no time to relax.
Would
You
you say
sound
like
like a workaholic.
Yes, indeed.
but also sounds like he's enjoying doing it. Like you enjoy doing all this.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. I did the same thing with my cars, man. For a whole weekend gone, you're like, work's gonna suck on Monday. That was a dope weekend.
Yeah, what is it? I think when it came to when I started making avatars and stuff started getting picked up a whole bunch, and you have like a little over 100 people who are big fans of just some really basic avatars at the time. That's when I think a saying I heard many times beforehand started ringing out with a lot more sincerity for me, and that is I heard the saying of comfort is where dreams go to die. So with me, it's like I like to constantly work on stuff, because if I take a break for a bit too long, it feels like stuff will kind of start to go down in like attention and whatnot. And I
You'll
also
become
find that
stagnant.
and I also find that it's just wasted time for if I'm not making stuff all the time. Any other time than that, like if I'm not enjoying working on the stuff, I'll change projects. But I want to constantly have something to show for the day, because I feel if I get too comfortable, then I'm just wasting an opportunity that was given to me to make such fantastic avatars with a fantastic community.
That's a drive and that's dedication. Like, holy shit. God knows. Like, don't get me wrong. I have my passions for things that I care about, but it pales in comparison that the fact that your main goal is you want to keep creating because you want to keep growing your community and perfecting, getting better at your craft. And it
Yep.
shows through something simple as again the extensive amount of avatars that Brandon and I have spent many hours to at this point, just cycling through and then just seeing what they're all capable of doing, and that is incredible. To the crafting table where you can actually fix and upgrade weapons. I'm like, this is Last of Us. That is fucking sick. Your upcoming projects sound insane. The new bunker, I look forward to getting lost in that thing too. So, dude, I gotta give you your props. All the hard work and dedication to not just himself for self satisfaction, but to his community and all the Musketeers. Big ups to y'all. Like, y'all got lucky with this dude right here. Holy shit!
I mean, hell, look at what he has done for us in just 48 hours. This is not even done yet, but it's already workable. We're here now. We're doing a podcast. Chairs are here. Campfire. I mean, shit. 48 hours. This guy is insane.
I get
glowing logo as well.
Yeah, logo.
Yeah,
Look
this
at that.
creation literally started in a simple Discord call, and he said, "What type of world do you want?" And we'll go from there. And the next thing we know, when we settled on what type of world, it was like, okay, do you guys want this, that, and the other? Where do you want to put it? All right, let's put this type of shit in here. And now, hence why we're sitting on these chairs right here. Hence why you see that bad boy right there. And that pretty little thing. You know who that is? What's up? How you doing? How's your mama?
When
48
it comes
hours.
to when it comes to stuff like that, it's also a lot of like passion for creating this is always outdoing myself beforehand, as well as if someone tells me like this is the best that this is going to get for so and so thing, then I always like pushing the limits for making things better. So that said, maybe I could add like a little side door here. You just enter the facility, maybe make like a whatever the other fellow that got commissioned. See who was better.
That
I mean,
sounds
so
like a
far-
Fallout.
So far, you're in the
Challenge.
lead. So far, you're in the lead.
I'm talking
already
about like making
working
a
here.
separate facility. I think that'd be neat.
Oh, that'd
but-
be neat too.
Join the
Cool.
same world, have different setting.
Because ultimately, this is my first time in here, and I watched him create it. I watched him actually put this together in a Discord call, and even though I know in advance like what it was gonna look like when I first spawned in here, and everybody knows that I use like short girly characters, so that's fine. But I turned around and I just saw, and you guys can't see it right now. And again, we're gonna make a video about it, but if you could just see what's going on behind us right here.
Oh, they can right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
They see
I forgot.
a good
He's recording
angle.
something. Look at it. Look at it. Look how big it is. Yeah. Yeah. Reach. Stretch with me. All right. Cool.
Whether that building we're able to enter, we'll. I don't know.
He gave us the option to pick the type of lights that we want, the hue of the color that we want. Should it light up the area? Just light up the characters. Hence why I am translucent right now.
Yeah, he is
So-
very bright.
So again, dude, thank you very much. Again, your passion for creativity is astounding. And then, like you said, you always try to push yourself to do better than the last project that you did, or find ways to improve. Insert project here. As I was saying, I wanted to ask you this, and again, if it's some sort of spoiler alert, then you don't have to tell us. But in your mind, what would be your magnum opus, like your ultimate project? Like, what would be the one thing that would set everything apart and you'd be like, that is it. That is the thing that I was needing. That's the thing that I needed to make.
I mean, main thing for me is I'm always upping the ante for each avatar and whatnot. But I think for me that'd probably be the like fully functional AC-130 that I'll be putting on a future avatar after the cool recon drone fella. I think that one's going to be a utterly major project because you'll be able to click a backpack on somebody, it'll teleport you over to the AC-130 that will be way up in the sky, way far away, and still have a fizzbone gun of some sort that you can aim. Main cannon. I'll see if I can do the 40 millimeters or something like that. And I think that would probably be the biggest thing would be to get teleported out to a score streak way up above and be able to aim it. As well as the plan is to put that on a avatar that already has like an existingly aggressive arsenal of like a light machine gun that I'll be putting an underbarrel shotgun option on. So, you know,
What?
So it's gonna be
yeah.
a freaking just
Some people want, some people,
avatar.
yeah, some people want to blow the doorknob off. Some people want to saw the door in half with bullets. Give them both options.
Stealth was never an option.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible. Like, because again, I use the term magnum opus because like a lot of people had that one passion project where they're just gonna be like, all right, now that I've created this, I'm done. There's nothing else I can do. Granted, I already get the sense of with you, that's never gonna be a thing. You'll find some way in your head, how can I up a fucking AC-130?
Well,
A
you know,
Death
just
Star.
the conversation of upping it just gave me the thought that I could maybe do like 4 separate like almost like orbital cannons that people can hop in. Maybe something like that, GTA style. You just aim
Some
an orbital cannon
exterminata
and just...
shit.
Yeah, I think that'd
I know I
probably
just
be a
finished this
pretty good idea.
AC-130, but hear me out here. The
Hammer of Dawn.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yes.
I want to have.
Yeah.
If I wanted to top the AC-130, I'd do 4 like almost Hammer of Dawn like cannons in the corner of wherever you are standing, and you'd be able to have 4 players be able to aim each one and be able to just send it. So if we're talking about upping an AC-130, I do have some ideas for that.
And I had to check my monitor real quick when I went to go point at Mikey because we were on the same wavelength. I absolutely sucker punched my monitor.
To stay in line.
We were literally the last 2 brain cells meme right here.
The fact that he was just looking at me, also going, the Hammer of Dawn. I'm like, he gets it.
Ah.
That was amazing. Granted, I can absolutely see you making something like that, like a Hammer of Dawn-esque thing to use in VR chat. And it just makes a crater-sized hole for in wherever you point it. Imagine that for a kill streak in combat night. Or for a combat event. You just start laying out people. Uh-oh.
That's the game ender. Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
Yeah,
That's his hands kind of doing the thing.
yes, indeed. Alrighty.
But did you hear that?
I did not. Please do repeat it.
Would you ever consider making something like Hammer of Dawn-esque from Gears of War? Thing that like this laser beam just comes from Jesus, and then it makes a crater-sized hole in whatever land in whatever map you're in.
I kind of have something that's like almost like a passive little brother of that. In regards of calling stuff in on my most recent avatar, the Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11 Ninetail Fox SCP avatar, I have this nice little radio that you can grab from your vest, and if you hover your hand over it, you'll see the red outline of like a cage, and it allows you to drop a containment cage wherever you want. So if you click the button on the avatar, it will fly a helicopter overhead with some cool little voice line of 5 seconds out, stand by, and then it'll drop the cage from the helicopter down into the world, and it'll stay put there. So I could do something Hammer of Dawn-esque with that for absolutely sure. That'd be super easy to do.
Gnarly.
But
that sounds. Ow. I'm getting tripped up. I love this whole VR chat thing, and this man is making my jaw drop. This this community, this scenery, everything here, I'm already just like, okay, here we go. No,
I could play the nice little voice line here. I actually added it to the soundboard just so I could click it. A little audio file here. So whenever you click your walkie-talkie in order to call in the cage, you get the nice little voice line.
Stand by, 5 seconds out. Just overhead now, dropping the cage. Clear the drop zone.
And then it'll drop the cage and you get a big metallic clang whenever it hits. But
yeah, well, that is awesome.
Awesome.
All right, now because I know we're getting close-ish to the point of time. Brandon, Mikey, I'll leave the floor
What?
to you guys. Anything you guys want to say or ask Arbiter? We'll start with you, Green.
Oh,
never mind. I'll start with you, Green.
Oh, sorry. You can if you don't want to.
I'm already looking at you.
No, go first.
Okay.
I didn't say anything. That was DJ.
Okay, so I have a question. One, do you
Yes.
like the Fallout series?
yes, absolutely. I mod the hell and back out of Fallout 4.
Yo.
Also, one, love that. Absolutely love that. But two, have you ever considered making a fully functional suit of power armor?
Let's see. In regards of like hop into it, you have like the cool
Yeah.
heads up display and stuff like that. I could
Yeah.
absolutely do the heads up display easy. I haven't really considered power armor. I can maybe mess around with it. I like to still keep it modern military a bit. I don't like my stuff to be easily
Yeah.
recognizable. Is that from so and so game? I really do dislike having things be way too similar to a game, especially the whole base model. So if I did do power armor, it would be a very nice modern look of power armor. Something like if you took like T-45 and then combined it with like the original suit of armor that like Iron Man makes in the cave. You combine those two. And then add some like boogaloo stuff, some Picatinny rail. So I'd probably have like some rail attachment for a grenade launcher or something.
He just said some boogaloo stuff. I'm sorry. That kills me.
Iron Man, but boogaloo. That's the dream.
You know, Iron Man 2, Electric Boogaloo. That's the franchise.
Dude, if Iron Man had like a ghillie suit and just like rise from a swamp, hell yeah.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. All right,
Yeah,
Big Green Dad Machine.
Oh, we're at me. What would I ask the Arbiter himself if I was able to turn 50 degrees and rotate on a swivel?
Menacingly.
Finger pyramid of evil.
Mr. Anderson.
I guess I would ask. So a lot of fads come and go in horror. Everything creepypasta, backrooms, SCP. Like some stuff blows up, some stuff comes out. Is there ever going to be the point where you would look into either creating your own little subgenre that's your box to play with, or are you kind of going to ride the scene and see where it takes you for the next point? Would that ever be something you'd be interested in exploring?
I don't know about doing like my own little genre of creatures or things like that wise. I'll say with the Musketeers, once I have free space or like free time, I want to move a little more into like we have a bunch of our own squads that all specialize in stuff. This guy's old-fashioned weaponry. This one's like more like American weaponry and stealth, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. I want to have like a squad that's dedicated for like some monster hunting kind of stuff. I think that'd be super cool. Cryptid hunter squad. But yeah, I mean mainly our genre is just like based in good old like Appalachian kind of stuff. I don't think I'd ever go to make my own like creepypastas and stuff. I have been tempted to in the past, but it's nothing that I have an exploding amount of interest in. But I think I'll always keep improving with like the way that it's portrayed in VR chat. I still need to finish up tweaking a boss fight version of like this forest imp creature I created. It's this kind of like fleshy tree creature that's humanoid. It has like very branchy root-like feet and very sharp stick-like hands. That guy, I plan on making it so with the PvP system, you can like shoot off the arm and the branch will slowly regrow and stuff like that. So
That is
I'm always gonna
gnarly.
keep improving. Yeah, so I'll keep improving on like the functionality and like boss fight aspect of creatures and stuff that get implemented and whatnot. But
Okay, dope.
Cool, fair.
All right. I think we are right at time. Yeah, because with the
We
technical
are.
yeah, I was about to say the technical 2 recordings that I have done that probably won't work anyway. But thankfully, you stayed the entire time. Granted, I
Yeah.
really hope the audio didn't reset when you left and then came back. But that'd be tragedy to miss the last 20 minutes.
That does not affect OBS at all.
Thank God. All right, good talk. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, it's outro time. Yes, sir. All right. Welcome to the end of the show. Welcome to the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you did, you guys are absolutely beautiful. We're going to have some closing remarks because I don't have a would you rather ready on deck right now. So we'll start down here. Mr. Blue,
So,
how are you? What do you want to say to the peeps?
other than just check out Arbiter's freaking Discord. They're definitely going to be in the link in the description, as well as the link to their group. If you ever decide you want to join a group on VeraChat, a tight-knit group full of events and all kinds of fun stuff, join the Musketeers. They're amazing.
I also have my Musketeer YT YouTube channel link as well in there. I have some plans for a couple tutorials that will be uploaded soon. Just currently finishing up the editing, so by the time you see this, maybe it'll be mostly done and that kind of stuff. But yeah,
you can also catch the YouTube link in the description.
And now we swiftly roll down to the other end, Mr. Green.
Closing notes for today. We're going to be if you're looking and wondering what a good example of a not only thriving but kind community and creator, this is it right here. Because we've met some really cool people, but sometimes they're eccentric. Sometimes they're scatterbrain is way too soft of a phrase. I don't know what's harder than that, but hard to pin down. So far working with these guys has been incredibly welcoming and cool. I still need to make some of the events. Every single time I'm out the way of my house, I see the ping that we're pulling is starting. So I'm going to be doing my very best to get involved. And if any of the kind folks out viewing this want to do the same, hopefully I'll see you there. We might even be in the same pool.
And
that's all I got.
And then last but certainly not least, Arbiter King himself. Anything you want to say to the folks?
Thank you for watching these fantastic fellows. If you guys do need help with getting started with avatar creation, at the very least, if you go to my channel right after this is uploaded, I do have like one tutorial on just getting started, getting the avatar into VR chat, hopefully the same day you watch the video, some basic stuff like that. But if you ever need help with avatars, our community is filled with amazing avatar creators, amazing people, and even if creation isn't your thing, just hanging out, everyone's very, very welcoming, and that's the main spiel there. Bunch of gun-loving good fellas.
Excellent. Closing notes and remarks from me. First off, shout out to all the Musketeers, and once again, congratulations on hitting 1,000 people in your Discord. That is still absolutely insane. Your talent, your drive, your creativity is insurmountable, unstoppable, and unfathomable, and I cannot wait to see what you create next. I look forward to the next creation, whether it be the next gun, the next avatar. If you ever make that AC-130, I want to be around. I want to be teleported to it. I want to start launching 40 bikes from heaven. That'd be awesome. But again, Arbiter, thank you. Sorry. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today, man. It's again, it's always a pleasure to get to interact with you, and I'm so happy we got you on another podcast. Like Mikey said, I want to be able to be a part of that pooling. I want all of us to get together and do some sort of game night. I'd love to be a part of one of your events. And For those of you that are watching this, get in his Discord. Find out. Trust me, his community is absolutely amazing. And they're all so welcoming. And his worlds are pretty cool too. Okay? We got give this man some love. All right. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us boys in the No Skill Podcast. I'd like you guys to know that there's some buttons in the comment section down below. I advise you do whatever the hell you want to with them. And we will see you in the next one.